Okay, it should be on. Is everything?
Yeah, I see you now.
Dude, what is that? No way.
I took a
That's
screen.
wow. That's a blast from the past, to be honest. That's from a long time ago.
Not that long, like three. I don't know. Wait, how many? I just had it
It's
pulled
like
up, I guess.
4 years.
Yep.
Wasn't it?
Let's check.
It's like three and a half. I'm gonna guess 3.5 going on 4 years because we shot this, I think. It was cold
On
out.
YouTube.
Wow, what a trip.
It was posted on YouTube 2 years ago. I don't know if that's accurate.
Yeah, we'll say 3 because post,
Yeah.
maybe. Two and a
It
half,
was
3.
posted in spring, I think. Yeah, spring.
Wow, man, that's crazy. What a time. That was actually one of my first movies that I did
Oh,
with
really?
that level of production. Yeah.
Yes, sir. That good of an audio guy.
The best audio guy, Pineapple.
Yeah.
Look, I'm being serious. I think you need to have some fun with the audio guys because we could have the best inside jokes, and I think we still do.
Well, of course.
Pineapples, man. That's it.
Mhm.
Simple.
Talking to each other through the mic, through the headphones.
I love the haircut. You're looking good, man.
Thank you. Going to Hawaii this weekend, so
No way.
um,
What's in Hawaii? Vacation or?
yes, that and my sister and brother-in-law are stationed there.
Nice. Very
Mhm.
nice. So visiting some family. That's what the haircut was really for. Got to look good. Is he a bit? How many siblings do you have?
8 total.
8?
Yes.
Where do you fit into that? 8? That's a
I'm the
big
youngest.
number.
I'm the youngest.
You're the youngest. Okay. How old is the oldest?
40. 42 by now.
Oh, okay. Nice. That's a big range. Huge range. Are you close with them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you view him as a big brother?
Oh yeah. Sometimes I because the way I am right now, I feel like I'm an only child, but other than that, it's like close siblings. Yeah.
Okay. That's sick, man. The youngest out of 8. What's that like?
Yeah. I don't know. I just kind of got used to it because I had three half sisters at first, and then 3 stepsisters, and then 2 of the sisters got married.
Nice, bro.
Mhm.
Super sick. Big old family. Look at that.
Yeah.
How's the film life? Speaking of you having the set behind what was the diner called?
Chase's and we called it Chase's Diner. I think I don't remember if it was Chase's Diner in real life. I think it was.
I think so.
Yeah.
If not, it was real to us for sure. Such a fun set. Sorry, like just to talk about that film for a second. It was such a fun set. Like the overnight shoots that we did there, and everybody just fitting in this little diner, getting to go behind I don't know. We just made it feel so alive. Everybody did such a good job there. It was so much fun. It was an experience. It really was.
Mm-hmm.
What was your best memory from that set?
I don't know. I think. Oh, I guess I'm reminded in post, and I have this Snapchat memory that comes up where you weren't here this day, but we were doing pickups of the alleyway recap, not delusional scene, but like a remnant, just where he's a flashback type in your head type scene.
Yeah.
Dave, we're walking backwards. Smalls and I are walking backwards with David, and like on one of the later takes, like the first time, but just before that take, I told Smalls to stop scruffing his feet, and then immediately after that, I backed into the dumpster and made a loud noise, and Smalls goes, Can you not back up into the trash can or something like that?
That's such a Smalls response.
Cracking up, yeah.
Oh, dude, that's funny. That is funny. That I'm trying to really bring back that set. We opened up that film. I think the opening of it is probably the most energetic, exciting scenes.
And that was
ever.
all one day.
Yeah, dude. It's so fascinating, going from reading the script, to us practicing it to being on set and it actually happening
Oh yeah,
was the most surreal feeling ever.
and I just remember like it's kind of funny, not funny, but like it's just perfect for like our generation that like the way we Smalls cut that beginning scene was like the Cars movie, how it like flashes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was so good. He did a great job editing it too. Great job. And plus working with Johnny and David, they're just
Yeah, and
wonderful
then
on set.
Johnny ended up doing more films later on too. I think either around the same. I think there's. Oh, you were on that film too.
What was it? For Stark?
Yeah,
No, yeah. I got to shoot him and kill him.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so in I got to pretty much frame him in Upside Down, and then in
Yeah.
that film I got to shoot him.
Yep.
Killed his wife. Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I tried fixing the sound on that one.
I heard Graham had to come in and step in and fix it up.
Yeah, because my stuff didn't work.
Oof,
It was
audio's
too-
intense.
It was just messed up. Yeah.
How is it I think audio is the hardest job on set.
There's just like
Technical wise.
I think what it is you're handing it off to someone else, and then it's caught up in like sweat and stuff, so it's just gonna go wrong, and like all the technical aspect of like the radio frequencies, you're in many areas and stuff that you can't control, and so it's just always things that can go wrong rather than camera. You gotta make sure that the fan's working so it doesn't overheat mainly.
Dude, yeah. See, to me, I couldn't. If someone asked me to go on set tomorrow for Hollywood and, I don't know. I don't know if I could be an audio guy. No shot. It's intense, man. That's some stress. I would like forget to press record. Like, I don't know. Couldn't do it. Couldn't be me. I'll stick to acting. I don't know. It's more my forte.
Yeah.
What other films have you worked on from Upside Down? And then I think there was a couple other ones because this was your time at Huntington, right?
Yeah, I did at least like 6 or 8 films at Huntington.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the last 2 I was the director of photography for. So like the capstone project, we used 2 cameras, and it was like about group therapy, and so it was cool to use. I feel like I was one of the main students to use 2 cameras at once in a project. So that was lots of fun to challenge myself in. But it was cool to travel from that typecast of being the sound guy to being the expertise in the DP. So that was lots of fun too.
That's a journey.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
It just felt like I don't know. I didn't want to try quite prove myself, but also like wanted to keep things simple.
Yeah.
And it was like, I didn't really think about this too much, but like in post, it's just like, okay, so did I meet the mark here, or because like I was really proud of the audio stuff in the earlier on projects, but like once I did the DP, I'm like, okay, now I feel like this was basic compared to other people's stuff. Just
I got you. If you had to go on a set tomorrow, would you go as audio? Which grip is electric. What's audio called on set? Is just sound?
Sound, yeah.
Okay. I think that's the one thing that's always tripped me up. Sound.
Like in the credit, it's like sound mixer or field mixer or field recorder or something like that. It just has a couple different ones that
right
are adding terms to for no reason.
That's what I'm saying. It's so confusing. It's so confusing. So sound. Okay. So grip is electric. Sound is you. If you had to go back as a DP, which is director of photography, for those people who don't know, they work the camera. They don't work the camera. They don't have to. They correct me if I'm wrong on this because I'm still trying to learn all some of the back end stuff. So,
Big Boy movie.
They what?
I said like in a Big Boy movie. Sorry to
No. Yeah. So the DP they create the visual feel.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Is that okay?
So like in hierarchy, that's what they're in charge of. And so especially in the olden days, like there could be like camera operators and then assistant assistant camera and then second assistant camera. And so like I in the student world, the DP will just operate the camera and frame their shots. But
Right.
in the main world, the DP will just make their shot list and say do this. And but if I stand corrected by that, but to answer your question, I think I would want to do like a first or second AC because I haven't done that too much. But like when I have, like, there's been some sets where I was just on grip and I would hop in, do some like second AC stuff, or like just be a helping hand. And I loved helping out with the camera, and I haven't done that opportunity like accredited, and so I would like the opportunity to do that. Just and so I can like glean from a director of photography and take mentally take notes.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
What drew you? Were you excited for your capstone, like being the DP? Did you like what's that pressure like? Because I think Huntington, they really they view it a little bit different, in my opinion, of how they structure film sets versus I don't want to say traditional film sets, because I feel like every set is a little bit different.
Yeah.
But they all have some type of foundation and structure. But with that, like, did you know how you were going to structure everything, how you were going to get everything set up? Once you knew who you were working with, did that change?
Right. Yeah, it changed. So I think when you first started asking me that, I started to think about like motivation. And in the beginning of the course, we were all had to write a project and propose it, pitch it, show them our script, everything. And so I had this project about like the definition of passion. Not literally, it wasn't literally about the definition of passion, but it was just breaking down that definition of pursuing things that like maybe it takes you too hard mentally and stress and like psychologically, and maybe you get injured and things like that, or things don't go your way, but you still want to pursue things, or you find something else. So that's what I had written, and it didn't get picked, and so I just had to move on. And so when they told me I was going to work with the other Cody on this project about group therapy, I just like listened to him of what he thinks it could look like, and then I kind of applied how I thought I could keep it simple, or like showed them what my approaches could be, because like I found this clip from my favorite TV show, This Is Us, where they did a similar setting, like literally like Alcoholic Anonymous.
Yeah,
I believe it was, and so I was like bouncing ideas, and then I realized we could save a lot of time efficiently to do the BCAM situation, and so I was relieved about that.
Now that you said you were the first person at Huntington to do that, is that something that people have asked for in the past and it's been turned down, and you got like a secret grace, or is it just because I imagine that some people may have tried to do that?
Now that I think about it more, as we discuss, technically Upside Down had a BCAM. But it wasn't the same camera. I used the same camera simultaneously on my set, but Upside Down, they used the Red Dragon for the majority of the film, and they used the Komodo. I don't remember when we used it, but maybe they had it as backup, something like that. I just remember that him having the Komodo as an option, and there's been some other films that have done similar things, but it's also just gear availability. Like the big cameras that they only have one of, and they just got new lenses, and they were RF mount, and I was like, okay, I'll just use my own camera for the other a secondary, but it wouldn't have worked. My mount is L mount, and so then I think Cheyenne might have worked. No, I don't think she worked on the project, but Chloe and Cheyenne loaned me their camera to use on my capstone project, and they were alumni from Huntington as well. So it was,
that's pretty cool.
Be able to use that under insurance.
Okay. Did you go in knowing what camera you wanted to use?
I wanted to. This is another form of challenging myself. They not I guess challenging, but they bought the new fancy Cook lenses that they had,
Hmm.
and so I for sure wanted to play around with those and see how they could fit well in our setting. And so I think that's where I was kind of like funneled into using the specific camera. And but I wanted to keep things simple in those manners.
Nice, dude. And so your time at Huntington, you were there, did all your courses. What made you go the route of going to film school versus not? Right. I feel like when everybody realizes, okay, I want to go to be in the film industry, that's the big question is, where do I go next? Right. Because anything else, you could pretty much just, hey, I want to go, do a job at law. You go find an attorney. Hey, can I work with you? Paralegal type stuff, right? You want to go cook burgers, you can. You want to do anything, you pretty much can. But when it comes to trying to get into the film industry, I feel like there's this huge wall that's put up, or like this invisible wall that people just don't realize how easy it actually is, because they get stuck at, do I need to go to film school? Do I not? If I do it, people say don't do it. But then what's the path to get there for all the people who didn't go, but now they're doing it? Like there's that huge puzzle piece that's missing. So did you feel like going to film school was like that for you? Or is it just like, something completely different?
I guess my answer is different, but it also doesn't. Some of it doesn't apply. So I'll try to funnel us into what you're kind of looking for. Of like, I went to school kind of because my parents were forcing me. Not physically, but like just of that goal. And so when I found Huntington, I knew I was proficient with technology, and I toured it freshman year of high school, and I loved the hands-on opportunity. And so right when I was able to do the early entry, I was able to sign up, and I stayed committed to the program. And granted, I ended up slowing down, but the hands-on opportunities, what was my favorite part for the most of my education career. But towards the end, I really liked the once I took the psychology course that was required in the degree. I really started to open up to be able to be creative in my writings and like comprehend myself. And that especially it comes from just like life experience from that stage of life after at 21 or 22.
Yeah.
But I think even though like college could be important to like stepping stones and have that degree for job connections and things like that, I think this day and age with YouTube, ChatGPT, and cheap gear, like there's still plenty of opportunity to be creative on your own and figure out what you like to do. Because I mean, like even when I slow down, I'm reminded that you have to keep creating to keep your stress and your happiness levels at moderate conditions, so that you don't lose contentment and things like that.
I love that. You have to always be creating in order to be at peace.
Yep.
Why do you think that is?
Still working on that. I mean, like,
really,
I think it's part of busyness too. Like when I'm busy and when I'm in stressful environments, I thrive, and I think it's part of distractions and I guess dopamine levels as well. But and then also when you create, you receive those fruits of the spirit of joy when you realize like you were able to create something out of thin air and have joy in that and share that joy and re-experience it when you're watching it back and things like that.
I got you. I love that, man. I really do. Thinking about, the industry itself, I think what you're talking about is something that's missing, and it's just like enjoying the craft, right? Just loving it because you're doing it because you enjoy it. Even though it may be stressful, there's still some peace to it, because at the end of it, you're working towards something that's going to be whatever, it's going to achieve that goal. Which I guess this is a great question to ask. When you're creating something, I don't know how to question this. Let me go on a little statement. So for me, whenever I got into the film industry, it was I want to make people feel something.
Right.
Was it the same for you? Because I know you said your parents were kind of pushing you to go to college, or was it just like, yeah? Was it like, oh, it's cool?
I think I've always wanted to persuade that emotion feeling. I honestly I went into college for the to learn about broadcast, but then they eliminated the program, and so then I just had to re-navigate through life. But recently, like especially from watching This Is Us, and then Fire Country, which is probably my favorite show. I both of those shows are really good at telling emotional stories and like emotional themes and even stories and messages that aren't commonly told. And I think that's what even connects me more to it and makes me think even more of connecting myself to that and then maybe applying it to like my writings or how I create.
With how you create, are you afraid of, like, you mentioned Chat GPT, like AI coming in? 'Cause, dude, it's scary. Have you seen those Bigfoot videos? You've seen those Bigfoot videos, man. You know exactly. We can't do that shit. They don't teach you that in film school, man. Like, we're cooked. We're cooked, my guy. Their acting is so rough, but it's so good. They got comedy down. AI has comedy down.
Right. Honestly, I like using it to its advantage. Like,
yes,
I've had it help me with my scripts towards the end, and then like it gave me good hindsight, and it helped me brainstorm even more. And then like I've been talking with other people about like helping it with like lyric videos or like social content on music, and it's just like, yeah, you want to use that to its advantage, but like, is there going to be a point when like the advertisers and the media companies are going to be like, hey, you can't use ChatGPT anymore, or we won't distribute your work?
There's no way, because you can't tell. You wouldn't be able to tell.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And that's going to be so rough because everybody's going to be using AI. In the next 15 years, it's going to be in everybody's face in every way imaginable. You're not going to be talking to a doctor anymore. You're going to be talking to a computer.
Yeah. I mean, like the last time I went to the
crazy.
doctor, like they didn't say that anything was wrong. And I'm like, man, I could have just asked Google.
Dude, exactly. Like AI is going to be this next big scary thing. And eventually it's just going to be the AIs talking to themselves, because it's, if you have a business and I have a business, we're not going to talk face to face because we're just going to automate it all.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be very, very limited conversation, I feel like, coming up. And that's terrifying. You know, just seeing everybody more connected, but also so socially disconnected. And I think real art is going to be an endangered species eventually.
But I think you still, like I said, how bounce back ideas, you still have to instruct the computer. And
for
so
now.
For now, yes. But I think I say you have to, as in like to have that quality content of like instructing it to have this emotion, to tell this emotional story.
Yeah.
Or like to lean onto it. And someone's programming it, so someone's telling it to be lean towards that way.
That's very true. Like, at the end of the day, humans did create this thing. So why is everybody so scared of humans itself? I think that's a terrifying thought. Is it because we humans are making something like this and we know it's unpredictable because everybody are like themselves is unpredictable because we're human at the end of the day? Like, we as a species know we're so bad that this AI is going to be like, yo, fuck these guys. Let's fucking take this planet over.
Right. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Like when you worry about what someone else has done, you gotta realize that that's what happened when Adam and Eve came, and they just ruined human existence. And
now we got social securities, and we got to worry about 401ks and taxes.
Yep.
World's a crazy place, man. The world's a crazy place. And I think actually because of that, I retract my statement. I don't think human art's going to be an endangered. It may be endangered, but I don't think it'll ever go extinct because people are always going to want to truly express themselves.
Right.
That's cool. Is there a film that's made you feel like, yeah, this film gets me? It's a good film. I enjoy it. It
I
speaks to
mean,
me.
Fire Country did. I feel like TV shows have been the that media has it has meshed into that sort of media.
Yeah.
Like uh, when Twisters 2 came out, I think I was supposed to start writing my capstone project somewhere around there, and like halfway through it, and like I realized the themes and all that is what I wanted to my writings to be kind of around as well. And so I think that's what started to inspire me, I guess, is Twisters and Fire Country.
And what are those shows about? I don't watch too many shows, unfortunately.
Fire Country is about a fire camp inmate that he got sent to his hometown, and so he wants to take his life back around and get through fire camp. But he just like he comes back in encounter with his best friend, his parents, and then he meets a girl, and so just there's just a whole bunch of challenges, but he still has to keep improving himself to get back to freedom away from fire camp.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like TV shows more these days than movies? Not
Yeah.
like, but you gravitate more towards them?
Yeah, I mean, like, and then the next one, I guess I would say I watched Landman, and I like I think the soundtracks on TV shows, a lot of time there's those like mainstream songs on them because probably, I don't know if it's cheaper or anything, but it's just more common, I guess, because
Yeah.
movies have those not pre-made, custom soundtracks.
Speaking of soundtracks,
Uh-oh.
have you seen Sinners?
No.
Oh, brother.
You didn't ask me.
That movie just does something to you while you're sitting in the theaters. It takes you on a journey. It takes you on a very unpredictable journey, and at times you're confused. You know what's going on, you don't know what's going on. You're lost, but you're found. You're taken on a whole journey, brother. That's all I can say. It's such a good film.
Yeah, it's like those Christopher Nolan movies. I've been trying to rewatch those and be just culturally educated with those, especially since I'm a film student and all that.
Christopher Nolan is one of my like huge inspirations for writing films. One of the very first films, one of the very, very, very first films that I wrote was called Running. And during that time, I was full steam, like watching Christopher Nolan films over and over and over and over again, and Tarantino, right? It was just back and forth between them two and listening to Logic all the time. So when I was writing this story, that's what I was going on with, because it was just all over the place. And the reason why I love that is because when I was writing this story, I wanted it to be separate and then come together at the end. Some real Nolan shit. So what I did was I was like, all right, I'm going to have a set 7 scenes. It's my first film I'm ever writing. I know I want 7 scenes, and I want scene 1, 3, and 5 to all be its own thing. So if you were to watch those together, it would be a story, and then 2, 4, and 6 to be its own story. And you watch that and it makes sense. So I took these 2 vastly different stories that like don't really make sense, but and then at the very end, this 7th scene just ties this whole entire thing together. And what's going on is in this very first, scene 1, 3, and 5, you get like this family, right? You don't really know what's going on. You see some stuff going on in the news, but in 2, 4, and 6, you see like this whole other side of the family, how they're trying to prevent like this virus from being spread into the city, kind of like vigilantes, right? And then scene 7, that's when it ties it all together. And there's like a cool little fight scene in there and everything. It was one of my very first films that I did, I remember. And I was directing it, and I did it all for free, and I shot it in the back of a Kohl's parking lot.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, I had lighting, I had a place, I had a camera. I had sound on the camera, I had actors. That was my first film, all in 2 nights. We rehearsed the fight that night. We made it up on the go. And mind you, this is my very first time on set. And it was with Revis Dorsey. I don't know if you've heard of him. Fantastic guy. fantastic guy. Shouts out to Revis. So he came in and he did this whole entire thing for free for me, learned the fight that night, and I yell action for the scene. They do the whole fight sequence. I yell cut, they do it. I'm jumping up and down for joy. Like, I'm so excited because this is like the coolest thing ever, right? Like, you wrote something, you brought people together, you put in all this work, you're stressed out, like you were saying earlier, but like it's working towards a goal. And Christopher Nolan was just a huge inspiration even for that whole entire film. So bringing it back to him, you know, I felt like the top of my game, even on that first film, butterflies in my stomach, so much excitement. And I got to owe it to him, realistically, because I really took the way he structures his films so abstractly contrasted, if that makes sense.
Right.
And still is able to confuse you but not lose you. And I love that. So shouts out to Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
Cool guy.
Yeah, I guess when you say like how you are inspired by him, I always like not get frustrated, but remind myself that I didn't really like have a specific director or group of films that I was inspired by. But I think the one that I would label would be the like Transformers saga, and
Yes.
it's not because I like action movies or anything like that, because like especially now I connect more with the emotion.
Yes.
But I like I was talking about the soundtracks, I realized all of those movies have mainstream songs as their soundtracks, ranging from Linkin Park to Imagine Dragons. And Imagine Dragons is one of my favorite singers. And so that's probably where that came in, because like I was so excited when they dropped the single for Battle Cry on Transformers 4. And so I think that's where it came into, where I was always, okay, what was this song in that movie or that TV show?
Okay, I see. So you were attracted always by audio, it sounds like. No pun intended.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I even learned to play guitar when I was 8 years old, and so
what?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, I didn't keep up.
Oh, okay.
But my aunt's right here still, and have my fancy USB-C thing, and
so you still practice somewhat if you have all that.
Somewhat, and I've got these picks back.
Well, okay. Make sure it's still recording. I think it stopped.
It says not. It says still recording for me.
Okay, so we got all of that. Yeah. So no, I'm not in a tornado. But okay. What were you saying? What were we talking about before my whole life just got disconnected from the virtual reality?
That I started playing guitar when I was 8.
Yes. Okay. That's right. I was like, do you still currently play right now because you have everything so close to you?
I like the last time I felt like stagnant and like I needed to create, and like my dad was at home and I wasn't bothering anyone, so I broke my guitar back out and like learned songs that I was listening to and being inspired by ethically on the, I guess, the good guitar groups as well. And so I was like trying to learn those, looking up how to play them, and that was like I don't know, last month or 2 months ago, something like that.
So you're just overall a really truly creative person, you think?
I mean, yeah, always has been. Like I played drums before that. No, after that was in middle school, and I didn't play a drum set. I was playing percussion in high school, and like just learning the rudimentary and all of that, and like. And so now, like, I air drum in the car and all that, and like at church, and is like especially doing worship at church, and like and doing this like working this like camp this week, especially where there's bands a lot, and like I can understand like the struggle of the kid like trying to be like this and that, because I'm like, well, I can't do it either. Like I come off beat, but I'm like I can do it with my hands though.
There you go.
Yeah, but
when did you start playing the drums?
Just 7th and 8th grade, so I was like 12 or so. I don't know.
Okay, nice. You did a little bit here and there. That's sick, man. Yeah, it sounds like audio has always been in your life somehow, some way. Just that's what inspired you for sure.
I mean, yeah, I got the Rock Band kit behind me.
Really? Oh, dude,
Mhm.
I'm ass at Rock Band. That's so sick.
Yeah,
You
when I
shred
was
on
a
it a
kid.
lot,
I did when I was a kid. I haven't brought it out lately, but
brother. I think it's about time. It's about time you
I
get back to it. That'll be sick.
mean, Fortnite had the what they call it, Fortnite Festival, and they brought their own version of a Rock Band to it. And,
That's
yeah,
so cool. I hadn't played too much Fortnite for a while. I don't play too much video games anymore. I'm an old man. No,
exactly.
that's super sick though. I had a question that lined up for you that that was pretty good. Music. Let's talk about music because there's so much audio that just runs through your veins. I listen to music. I have a piano. I put it on my calendar to start practicing it, and I think I understand nothing so far. So that's a start. I still have so much more to go. So I'm pretty much starting brand new with the piano. Something I've always wanted to learn. Which is pretty cool. So, but I had this love and appreciation for music, even though I can't play an instrument. So, like most people, I listen to a ton of it. Like I live on Spotify every
Yeah.
single day, and I I can't live my life without Spotify. If I had to give up everything but one app that I pay for a month, I'd keep my Spotify account. Everything else, Netflix and all that other stuff, it can go because there's so much with it now. But even then, I find so many artists, it's not repetitive like how Pandora used to be. I felt like they would just play songs and I felt myself skipping. I find myself rarely doing that with Spotify, right?
Mhm.
And with so many different genres of music that I listen to, um, I mean, I think Spotify is just great, especially when they let you know about new people's albums coming out, like John Bellion, which came out earlier this month. Did you listen to the whole album?
Did you listen to it?
I did. Not the whole thing. I think there's still a couple songs I have to get to. I was just listening to Wash 2.
So you haven't listened to the whole album in order, bro.
I haven't. I haven't.
Dude, I've done that multiple times. I did it
Really?
an hour before it came out. They had a YouTube stream just for the fans.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh man. Yeah, see, I was asleep. No, I was up. I was
It
up because
was
I was
8 o'clock, bro.
8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh shoot. I thought it would have been later.
No, because of Eastern Standard Time. So
Oh,
yeah.
that's right. See, I remember back in the day with video games when there had to be midnight releases and they didn't like if you're on the East Coast, you're already playing 3 hours earlier because it was still,
Right. Oh, gotcha.
so that's how I thought it was in my head. But dude, all right. So yeah, I haven't listened to the whole entire album all the way through. Songs here and there. I don't know, man. John is one of those artists that I don't think I can sit down and listen to a full album right away. I got to take in
Well,
bite-sized pieces.
yeah, and take it in, but but he makes the album to be meant to um be listened to in order. Because like that's just he wants to have that old style of music, well, old traditions, I guess, not old style. And but also, I'm trying to send this in the chat. Is there a chat in this thing?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. My heavy rotations mix is all John Bellion right now. I messed it up so funny. Like it's
Really.
yeah. Where did it
I
go?
don't think I have a couple artists that I listen to pretty regularly for years. Coda the Friend is one of them. Gerald, G-Eazy, Logic, and then I've really been into like indie
You
bands.
still listen to Logic? Logic?
Yeah, yeah, he has some pretty interesting stuff coming out. Like I just check up with him. I know G-Eazy dropped an album the end of May, which was so much fun. It's a fun one to listen to. Um, Logic's been just putting out random things here and there, so that's been a lot of fun to listen to. He said he was going to stop making music. He's still
Right.
making so much music, dude.
John
So
Bellion said
much
the same.
music. Yeah. I don't think you can stop doing it because I think you can stop the music business is what they're talking about to such a degree.
Oh,
Because I think for us as people who are consuming the content, for us, we don't see the days of what it's like actually going on tour, right? And then making an album while on tour. I mean, that's the life of an artist that for that level of fame, and I wouldn't say that that's not a true level of life, like artistry, but if you want to monetize your craft, absolutely. And then you can just stop, which is what so many people do. They monetize their craft, make as much as they can, capitalize on it, and then stop and then just enjoy life.
Yeah.
Enjoy what they want to create, but they stop that.
Similar thing that John Bellion's doing too. And he realizes he doesn't want to tour because even these small shows that he's done is straining him, like with the connection that he's having and the connection he wants to have with his family.
Exactly. And see, I understand the struggles of that so much, because as somebody for myself, that's one of the main reasons why I don't go gung-ho back into the film industry or going as crazy, because as much as there's a part of me that wants to do that, there's a bigger part that's like, I don't want to miss out anything over here because this is vastly more important.
Yeah.
I love this and this is exciting, but I'm going to put such a limit on this creativity and monetizing it out because it's so stressful, and I'm just going to focus over here. I get, dude, it's intense.
Yeah. So, I have some of those like worries as well where like I think I have this slight like just like bucket list kind of goal of like being a camera operator for a concert, like live camera operator.
Yeah.
Or that's like because I'm so inspired by it when I'm at a concert, I guess. But that then you would have to tour and be away from home and all that. And so then you don't have any consistency or insurance or any of that jazz. And then like, and so I think it's the conversation of consistency where you got to find where the people treat you right, and you'll be able to have a healthy lifestyle in return.
I agree. I definitely agree. It's not a long-term sustainable lifestyle, being that much of a nomad. You got to have that foundation for sure. So, and he stopped making music for quite some time too. How many years was it?
6 or 7.
And you were, I know we were chatting about this about a month or so ago before the album even came out. You have been anticipating this that long.
I don't know. He didn't like a year ago. He didn't say like, okay, I'm gonna release an album next year.
Right.
I just didn't expect anything kind of like ever. I just always been like seeing like where he would work for other artists. Like he has this like song he wrote for one of the K-pop artists that has gone like crazy viral, and it's made him a lot of money. And like the Jonas Brothers, I really like the new Jonas Brothers album because it's his songs, quite frankly. And
really?
yeah, like especially the end of the album, like Waffle House and Walls. I think like there's like demos of it of his version on YouTube, and you're like, wow, this is kind of almost the exact same.
Wow. Okay, I can see that too. That brings like a very interesting thing as well, especially bringing it back to the AI conversation. Do you think at some point everything is going to be created, or do you think there's always going to be something new to create? Or do you think the beauty, I'm sorry, let me see if I can reframe this. Yeah, just that question. And then I think I have a follow-up.
I mean, I think people ask a similar question of like why churches don't sing like the hymns anymore, because the music that they do sing now is just reimagined, and it's the hymns or the scripture reimagined into modern melodies. I think it's the same way in storytelling of like everyone's telling similar stories off their own language or their own tongue or their own flavor or however their brain imagines it.
Yeah, I can see that because I like that. Everybody imagines it different, so there's always going to be some type of thing to say about something. I love it. Nice, dude. Staring contest. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, man, that's sick. So, John Bellion, what other artists do you really go for?
Man, it really ranges because like I've been getting into country lately because I like the emotion in that. But like I was raised on rock, and so like my favorite like is modern the right word? Like just recent rock artist is Coolio, and like I can play one of their songs on guitar, and I've seen them live once, and I have their CD right.
You have a CD? No. Most people don't even know what that is.
No, right here.
Look
In
at
the
that.
John Bellion CD.
Hey,
John Bellion CD. There's new ones on the way. He had to get it reprinted since he changed songs.
oh, dude, I would love to collect CDs. I think having a selected few CDs, there's just something about that. But I mean, the discs,
I have 9 right there.
9. I like vinyls, dude. Do you collect vinyls?
I'm just now starting to. I have like 3 or 4 that I just bought recently.
Brother, they're expensive, aren't they?
Yeah.
Depending on where you go, do not get them at Barnes and Nobles, or like do not go into urban area mall shops to go look at vinyls. They're going to be so overpriced. You got to go to some.
I started on record day, so I got 2 on record day. I got Cleo's first EP.
There you go.
The Post Malone Nirvana covers, and pre-ordered the Chris Stapleton album. What did I get recently? Oh, it was probably the Kaleo's most recent album I got recently.
Kaleo. How do you spell that?
Kaleo. Probably saying it wrong. Because they're from Iceland.
Oh, wow. What type of music do they make?
They're from there, but they sing some songs in their language.
Oh, that's cool. What got you into that?
Well, they're one-hit wonder. That's not the right term, but it's the same.
Yeah.
Visual is Way Down We Go, and so I got into that song, and so like then I listened to all of the album all the way through.
That's one that goes, and way down we go. Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay.
And so then I just kept following their albums, and then they also produce really nice music videos where like it's one of them especially, like I always tell people, like they performed this song on like this island thing, and the helicopter like wrapped around it multiple times. It's crazy. I'll put it in the chat.
That's actually pretty cool too. I'm not seeing anything in the chat.
Oh, and I'm pulling it up. It's not there yet. Come on now. Patience is something.
Patience is definitely a virtue.
Sure.
It's a pain in the ass. You know what I'm doing to teach myself some more patience?
I don't know.
Taking the stairs.
The stairs. Heck yeah, get your steps in.
18 floors.
18? What, you live in an apartment? You live in New York or something?
Work. No. So I got this job back at corporate, U-Haul corporate, and they just got this new building. They bought it. And they're transitioning over from their current like 3 or 4 buildings all into this one. It's like 35, 40 stories. And I'm on the 18th floor. And there's only 4 floors that are in operation. And my floor is one of them. So all the other ones, I went to go take a look at some of them. They're all like gutted out, empty. It's like deserted. It's all blank. It's kind of scary, right? But it's kind of tight. At the same time, you're like, oh, fuck, this got scary. It's got tight, right? But yeah, I'm on the 18th floor. And I just started it. And I'm worried that I'm going to be sitting on my ass all day. So I was like, well, I have a choice. I can make the very insane choice and go up and down the stairs, at least once up and at least once down. It's not every time up and down. But yeah, I've been doing that. And it's been for about 3 days. And brother, I feel it. I feel it. I get up to the 4th floor and I'm...
That's crazy.
Dude, there's something about those stairs that just kick my ass. Right. I don't know what it is. Usually I get like that around 6 or 7 flights, but I don't know if it's just the way these stairs are struck. I'm getting my ass whooped, man. So yeah, I'm getting my ass whooped, but it's great because I just listen to my music and I get an extra couple minutes of my music to motivate me.
A couple minutes? Doesn't take you 30?
No. It took me 7 minutes going up.
Oh, okay.
And it took me 2.5 minutes going down. I made videos of myself just in case I died in there. Somebody knew what was going on. It's like my last thing is someone just going like in the stairs. I actually got stuck in there too. And it was getting hot. And I had to call somebody, but like there's barely any cell service. So I was in there for like an extra 10, 15 minutes just cooking. I thought I was done for.
My first week at Dunkin' Donuts, I trapped myself in the walk-in freezer.
Dude, hell yeah. You wanted all that ice cream, didn't you?
They didn't have any ice cream. It was just frozen donuts.
They don't sell like ice cream at Dunkin' Donuts?
No.
I figured that they would. I've never been to a Dunkin' Donuts, only the drive-through. So I would think they would sell, some donuts and ice cream, especially in the summer.
They have like milkshakes type of thing, but
yeah. Well, see, they're gonna have milkshakes and donuts, but no ice cream.
because it's just sugar and milk.
That's very true.
Sugar, ice, and milk.
3 of the best things for you.
Exactly.
You can have that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner when you're 6 years old. You won't. It doesn't matter.
No.
Yeah, you're chilling.
I watch my girl's figure.
You do that at 35, you're fucked. You try to walk up those stairs, you're gonna get one step up, and you're gonna be like, "Oh hell no, it ain't gonna work."
Now's my time again.
Pretty much. I've been using Spotify to venture out and listen to a whole bunch of different music and Australian indie rock reggae. Oh, brother.
Both combined?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Like there's a specific band that does that and it's pretty tight. But Australian rock, especially Australian indie rock, it just hits a part of my soul that just speaks to me. And it's not just one band. It's like multiple bands. Like I'm really feeling in the life down under. You know what I mean? Like I gotta go. And they're like just starting out too, and they got like such amazing talent. And I know how scary that can be when you're starting out. So I messaged them and I'm like, don't stop creating. Like keep going. Like
Did they respond?
Yeah, dude. Like, and whenever they drop a song, like I always message them and I give them like hype for it. And sometimes like I think one time, yeah, they did. They sent me like a 30-second sample of like an unreleased song. So I felt like shit. Yeah, dude, I was fucking hype. I was like, this is it. I made it. I'm best friends with a rock star who lives in Australia. Exactly. It's the coolest thing. But yeah, no, man. They're great. My brother really put me onto like a whole bunch of different music. Suicide Boys was a huge one. He also, I didn't think I would enjoy them.
Right.
And then I realized there's artists. I don't like a certain genre. I like certain artists on what they're able to do. Like Sleep Token is one that I've recently found with their new album that just dropped, Something in Arcadia. And I know I'm probably going to get shit for that, not knowing it. But wow. There is an album that you want to listen to front to back. That's a good one. Living in Arcadia, something Arcadia, man. I'll have to send it to you. Arcadia. What is it?
Even
in Arcadia?
Yeah.
Yeah. You pulled it up? Oh, I love you, bro. You're sick. You're awesome. Yes, okay, so let's get specific. There's some songs towards the end of it. Get This Main and what's the song before that one? Let me
Starts with D.
Huh?
Starts with a D.
Damocles.
Oh, okay.
So Damocles and then Gethsemane. I know I'm not pronouncing that right. You listen to those songs back to back and you feel it. Like you just don't throw it on in the car while you're driving. Like you feel it and you just sit there. It's going to take you on a journey.
But sometimes I like listening to heavy metal when I'm driving. So like I remember one time I was on the on-ramp from the 101 to the 10, just blasting Hell's Bells or something like that by AC/DC. And I'm like, I'm headed to the airport and no one's going to stop me now.
Yeah, bro, you're flying. You're flying to fly.
Yeah, for legal reasons, I won't say if I was flying or not, but I just know no one was going to stop.
You were going the speed limit the whole entire time. You were being a law-abiding citizen while rocking out. Right on, brother. Right on. But I listen to that album. I'm gonna listen to what's interesting is that they're not total like rock.
So
they're not entirely heavy metal. There's some parts where there is. Like once you listen to it, like that's what I thought. Because some of their songs, I was like, is this even the same band? Because I'm not really into heavy metal itself, right? Not really into it. There's some songs pick and choose, right? But I can't really dive that far deep off the deep end. Respectfully, it's just not for me. But I think this band And there's so much lore behind it too, which is even better that I don't even understand. But this band just does a fantastic job of balancing it in their album and in their songs too.
Right.
So those two songs are fantastic, just back to back. And if you're feeling spicy, you can go for the last one too. I forget what that one's called. I think it's blank. No, what is it? No. Waves. What is it? I don't know.
Infinite Baths. Dude,
Yeah.
no way.
Waves?
Oh, Waves, you were close.
I don't know. Yeah, so Sleep Token, dude, I don't remember songs too much, but I know how they make me feel. That's how I've remembered. That's how I remember anything. I don't go off of really trying to remember names unless you've made an impact and a good feeling on me. I've made that switch recently.
Right.
I had too many bad souls around me.
Like me.
You were the worst.
Yeah, exactly.
You were the worst. You were the that's why I wouldn't even touch you with a 10-foot pole, my guy. If they said it was me and you on a Hollywood set, we both get 10 million, I'm walking away.
Walking away.
I said, no, why'd you even bring this to me?
Yeah.
Well, that would be interesting. What do you think about the whole exposing of Hollywood?
What do you mean by exposing?
Huh?
What do you mean by exposing?
Okay, I think that's a rough word. More of the rough apples within the Hollywood industry.
I think, I don't know if this answers it, but like kind of similar to what I said earlier about gear is like you can create anywhere, and
yeah,
as long as you know you have a community around you that's going to help you out, you can do that. And it just sucks that it's not like Hollywood has that tax benefit. I think, I assume, in Georgia obviously does, Canada does, but like I have a team like in Arizona, well, and us, like we all of us know people that want to create, but it's just like we're not getting those tax benefits, or just all of the easier way of life and connection, not life, but a career through that. And so I think that's what answers it to me is I think it should be easier instead of, oh, it has to be there, it has to be there, it has to be there, but we don't live there.
I get you. I really do understand that. And I think to add on to that, such a further point of it is something you mentioned way earlier is like there's the YouTubes now, right? There's YouTube, there's TikTok. Like it really is so much easier to build and create now, make money now than it was ever before. Arguably, I think in some ways, if you were to go to Hollywood, or if you had aspirations in this day and age to go to Hollywood, I don't think you really need it. Yeah, right.
Well, I guess if you were to go to Hollywood with that experience, they might also shoo you away because they're like, we don't need a TikTok creator here.
Well, see, here's what I've heard too, because I love not watching interviews from mainstream actors anymore. I realize there's a lot of fluff in there, but the ones that are up and coming, not even the ones that have been on TV shows for a long time, but the ones that are like, oh, they got an interview, like their first one, their first three, they're getting some traction.
Shyamalan, what's his name? From the Bob Dylan documentary.
Oh, Timothy Chalamet. Yeah, absolutely. I feel like now he's up there, but I loved watching him come up. At first, my girlfriend at the time, she was absolutely in love with him, right? And I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna watch any of his movies, right? Just being like a stupid boyfriend. I was like, man, fuck this guy, right? My girlfriend has a crush on him. I ain't gonna watch him. I ain't gonna like him. And then there was one film that I watched that changed my whole entire view, and I was like, yo, this guy's fucking sick. And that was Kings.
No, I haven't seen that one, I think.
I believe it's called Kings, and it is just a masterpiece of a fun film. It has a weirdly played Robert Pattinson in it, who plays like a French prince. It's a very
the King,
yes, it's a very left field character by Robert Pattinson, but the film itself and the journey of Timothy in this blew me away. Like his acting, his portrayal from the beginning of the film to the end, and seeing him with his speech that he said however long ago, a couple months ago when he won the award, is that he wants to be one of the greats.
Right. and people
he just
hated him for that.
he needs to continue.
Uh-huh.
He needs to keep going because I think he's already there right now. He just
Right.
needs the time because his work is phenomenal. Phenomenal. It really is. So I give him much props. He's a cool actor.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think if I think he's probably going to be one of the last big artists, in my opinion, to really come out of his generation.
Right.
To really spark and have such a following, in my opinion. Right. You also have like around that age group, Tom Holland, right? Zendaya, absolutely. But for me, I think Timothy to me is just fantastic. I'd put him top tier for that generation. But now, since there's a social media, I don't think we're gonna see the next big true artist going to Hollywood. In my opinion, I feel like the next big wow, the person who's able to play it all, the person who just has our hearts and is just like, this person is just fantastic when they're on screen. Kind of like how Robert Downey Jr. makes us feel about Iron Man, right?
Yeah.
Like something like that. I don't think they're going to come from the grind of Hollywood and being churned and churned and churned out for auditions. But I think they're going to come from someone who, instead of getting rejected and practicing scripts for other people, they're going to be creating their own content. They're going to be making their own films for them, right? They're going to be investing stuff into them, but express it outwards so other people can relate to it. And I think that's where we're going to see our next big, wow, this person's it, this next big thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think like Hollywood is, that's why I was like, do you think it's Hollywood's done with, it's over with?
Right.
Do you think it's just a place?
I think what also relates, I think I heard someone say recently that like theaters or storytelling might change because TikTok has all of that, like because of from Vine, that quick paced storytelling of you're watching a full story within a minute probably, and now people don't have the patience to watch a whole 3-hour movie in theaters anymore, and so theater sales are terrible now because people can just go through TikTok and doom scroll and just lose connection just by that, instead of just sitting in the theater and paying $20 to sit in one spot for 2 hours.
Brother, I agree. Let me add on to that too, because I agree. The worst part is, you know how many commercials I see, film commercials, film trailers that pop up that I scroll past. I'm not even interested. It doesn't even excite me. It may be a bomb film, but I don't want to see a movie that's coming out. I don't want, because I know that I have to watch this whole trailer to understand if I want to watch the movie. Versus I can just scroll past that and get my dopamine hit in a gorilla AI video that's going to make me feel something right now versus, you're trying to build a cinematic feeling on a platform that doesn't really appreciate that. And so I feel like if you're going to post movie trailers on TikTok, you have to kind of restructure your films, in my opinion. You have to restructure your film so you have like a trailer that makes sense and makes people think the film is something else, but it's actually something completely different. I think if you're able to do that, really trick your audience from TikTok commercial to what people actually see, I think then you're going to be the next greatest innovative filmmaker.
I mean, Apple even tried something new with the F1 movie where they had a trailer for the iPhones and it had like the haptic feedback. And so like the phone like vibrated like it was like a sub to the commercial, like it vibrated when the engine was revving and like it ticked with the clock and all of that. And I'm like, this is actually engaging because I don't like watching trailers, but I wanted to watch that. And I wanted to see what it was like because I was a nerd, but
I love seeing the younger generation's talent shine through because you can really tell the difference. You can tell which companies, which films, which trailers have a hand for the next creatives that just need to keep working. Because when a trailer that's exciting back then was like watching a Transformers trailer, which was like cool as shit. It gave you a feeling because the way it felt and edited. But what's interesting now, and I think this plays more appreciation to the editing side of things, is like now you can kind of take those raw fundamentals of that editing style and apply it to anything. Quick paced, fast, almost action sequence, even for something that's sad and heartbreaking, and you're going to still get that same sad feeling. So I think what's
Mhm.
interesting is like there's this hack of attention from action trailers and commercials that if you apply it to what you're doing, you're just gonna attain more attention, which is kind of
Yeah.
interesting.
Mhm.
Well, you teleported. That was cool. I thought I was tripping. All right, new projects. Do you have any coming up?
um, I'm working with this new production company that I got connected with last year, where the title of the project's called 2 Weeks Notice. The
Mhm.
departure of Hella Sketchy, and it's a documentary changing the narrative of depression and drugs in the music industry. And
Sick.
so, actively working on the production aspect of that project, and we're hoping to be finished out with it this year and hand it off over to some other teams and get some traction on that
Do
globally.
you is your main day to day working in like film, being around cameras and audio tech?
Uh, some gear, yes, but film, no, because like, I mean, working on that project, I have the opportunity to work out at my desk, but it's that motivation and stress. It's hard for me to come to my desk and work on it right in the morning, and so I have this another part-time job at a church working broadcast engineer, and so I'm like upkeeping live production gear in some venues and like programming lights and video for like helping work on it at 4 different campuses in the Scottsdale area.
That's pretty badass, man. Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
you're
it's hard to like
saying,
balance it because it's a far drive, but
yeah.
it keeps that consistent expectation fulfilled.
Do you often go on other projects a lot?
About like 2 times a semester, probably
Okay.
quarter, I guess. Not semester. I'm not a student anymore.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. What's your end goal with this? You want to keep pursuing it, and what's the perfect world with it?
I mean, yeah, I want to keep pursuing. It's just, I think consistency is where I won't want to like land it, so I can not have those highs and lows mentally, and it's just waiting for those opportunities to come and not getting frustrated and lose patience throughout that time of waiting.
Nice, dude. Right on, brother. I love that. Okay. Good.
Totally.
Good. Okay, brother. I want to go ahead and chop it up here. Kind of coming up to hour and 15-minute mark. So I think that's a fair amount.
Oh yeah.
We would go super longer, but unfortunately this new job position has me up at like the ass crack of dawn.
I know. I'm
So
waking up. I have to drive to Scottsdale tomorrow, so I have to leave by 7. So in rush hour traffic, and I want to go to Palo Alto to like 11 because I drank caffeine in the afternoon.
there you go. Good for you, brother. That's the best way to do it. Coffee in the afternoon.
Yep.
Done deal. All right, man. Well, thank you again. Appreciate you coming on. And till next time, man.
Till next time. Thank you.